All right, let us answer this question before us. It is taken from VCAA 2019, paper 1, question 20. We've got this amortization table before us, and then we're told that the annual interest rate for this loan is 3.6%. Interest is calculated immediately before each payment. For this loan, the repayments are made weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Okay, so we're given the annual interest rate, and we need to figure out the compounding period. Is it weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, yearly? First thing I would do here is just to figure out the interest rate between each of the payments here. So we don't know if we've got a week, a month, or whatever between them, but let's just figure out the interest rate between each payment. So if I have a balance of 300,000 and the interest accrued on that is 900, I can figure out the interest rate of just that portion. So remember, the way I kind of think about this is I've got 300,000 and I'm timesing it by the interest rate, and I know that I'm getting 900 out. So therefore, I can rearrange this and say my interest rate is going to be equal to 900 divided by 300,000. Okay, then I can figure that out. So control, divide 900 over 300, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to end up with 0.003. Now, this is where it becomes ever so important that you understand the difference between a percentage and a decimal. Do you see how this annual interest rate is 3.6%? At the moment, this is just a decimal. We need to turn it into a percentage. And you should know that if we want to turn this into a percentage, you times it by 100. So if we times it by 100, this now becomes 0.3%. So that means, immediately after each payment, the interest is calculated. And between each payment, we've got 0.3% each time. All right, so we've got 0.3% between each payment, but now we have to figure out what's the distance between each payment. Is it weekly? Is it fortnightly? Is it monthly? Well, if we know that annually, so over the course of a year, it's 3.6. So over the course of a year, it is 3.6%. That's in a year. How exactly do we go from 0.3 to 3.6? This is where you're going to divide. So I'm going to go, I've got 3.6. I'm going to divide it by 0.3. And when I do that, 3.6 divided by 0.3, I'm going to get 12 out. So 12, so 0.3 times 12, so if I times this by 12, I get to that. So that means if it's 12, well, there are 12 months in a year. So my answer is C, monthly. So that's the thinking going on there. You have to figure out how many times does 0.3 fit into 3.6, and because it fit in 12 times, that means it's monthly. If it went in 52 times, it means it would be weekly. If it fit in, once, it would be yearly. If it fit in 4 times, it would be quarterly. Because it fit in 12 times, it's monthly. So that's the thinking that's going on there. All right, let's look here. How many people got this right? So this is question 20. Question 20. 58% of the state were able to answer that correctly. If we look at the little spiel that VCAA provides us here, let's read it. It says, this question required students to first calculate the interest rate per time period from the amortization table. So 900 divided by 300,000 gives you 0.3%. That's what we did. As the annual interest rate was 3.6%, the repayments must be made monthly, since 0.3% per month equates to 3.6% per annum. Cool. Hopefully that made sense. A cute little question, I would say.